Hi, this is Kaylene, and we're recording our extra credit project for a program called Word Count. So we're going to start the planning phase by reading the problem requirements. We are going to write a program to count the number of A to Z letters, both uppercase and lowercase, the number of lines, and the number of words in a file. Our program should read from a file called test.txt and display the results to standard output. We're going to order the results by number of characters, then number of words, then number of lines, and we're going to display the results on 3 separate lines. So we're going to start by completing our PSP1 estimating worksheet, and our first module is going to be to deal with the file I/O. Then we are going to count the number of lines, we're going to count the number of characters, and then we're going to count the number of words, and then we're going to print the output. So we're going to estimate for each of these modules, and for counting the number of lines, we're going to say that's probably going to take about 3 lines of code. And then to count the characters, that's probably going to take a little bit more, maybe 5 lines of code. And to count the number of words, that's going to take us about 5 lines of code as well. And then for the file I/O, that's probably going to take us a little bit more, maybe 10 lines of code for all the try and catch lines. And then to print the output is going to take us about 3 lines of code, 1 for each separate answer. So that totals to 26 lines of code. And from there, we are going to stop our planning phase and give you some time to fill out the summary data. And now we are going to start our design phase. So we're going to start the clock, and we are going to start our design. So we are going to start by reading the file using file I/O, and then we're going to have a while loop to read each line from a file. Then we're going to increment the line count, and then from there we're going to tokenize the line by each string. And this is going to be by white space. And then from there we're going to loop through the line by each token. And then we are going to increment the word count, because each token is a word at that point. And then we're going to loop through the characters, and we are going to increment the character count. And then we're going to close the scanner and print our results. We also are going to remember to catch our I/O exception from all of our file input output. And that should be good for our design for our word count. So we're going to go ahead and stop our timer. And we're going to continue, and we are going to start doing our coding phase. So we're going to open up BlueJ now, create a new class. We'll call it word count. And we're going to open up our editor. So we are going to start by writing our description. Basically, we count the number of letters, words, and lines in a file called tests.txt. Make sure we specify. And I am Kaylene, and Shraddha is also here to help me. And today is the 19th. So we are going to start by declaring main. That throws the IO exception. And then we are going to create our scanner and initialize it to null. And then we're going to have our try and catch statements. We'll start with our try statement. And we're going to initialize a file reader. And make sure we put the right file in there that was in the specification. And then initialize our scanner. And then we're going to make sure we import our scanner. And we're going to import our IO for the file reader. And then we're going to continue. And we're going to need 3 variables. We're going to need our character count. We're going to need our word count. And we're going to need our line count for each of our problem variables. And then we're going to create our while loop for each line. And then we're going to increment our line count because that's what we said in our design. And then we're going to create a string tokenizer to tokenize each line. And we're going to do our while loop while we have more tokens. And then we're going to assign our string. And then we're going to loop through each character in the word. Oh, mistyped. And then, all right, I'm thinking I made a mistake in design. I want to make sure that I check if each character is a letter. So I need to make sure I do that because we're not just looking for any old character, we're looking for ones that are actually letters according to the specification. And then based on whether or not that's true, we're going to increment our character count. And then at the end of this while loop, we're going to make sure we close our scanner, and then we're going to print our results. To standard output. Copy and paste. Fix these up a bit. So characters and then words. And then lines. And we want to make sure we catch all of our exceptions. So we want to make sure we catch our IO exception, and then we want to make sure that if our scanner is null, we close it. And there we have it. I think at this point we're going to stop our coding phase